Let's talk about obsession. The kind of obsession that keeps you up at night, heart-pounding, eyes wide, flipping pages like your life depends on it. Fantasy does that to you. There's a certain kind of madness that comes with reading fantasy. A hunger, an ache, an obsession. One moment, you're a regular person, grounded in reality, paying bills, drinking coffee, existing. The next, you're chasing shadows down the neon-lit streets of some city where monsters wear human faces. Or you're lost in a land where magic is currency and prophecies kill more than they save. Urban fantasy and high fantasy, two different beasts, both capable of ruining your life in the best possible way. The question is, which one leaves the deepest scars? Which one shatters you, leaves you breathless, and keeps you chained to its world long after you've closed the book? Urban fantasy sneaks up on you. It whispers in your ear that the world you know is not as it seems. It makes you believe that behind every corner, beneath every city street, something magical is lurking. You go to work the next morning and half expect to see a vampire brooding over his coffee, a secret society plotting in the shadows, or a werewolf trying to keep his transformation in check before his 3 p.m. meeting. Books like the Dresden Files make you feel like you're just one secret away from discovering a hidden reality, and you want to find it so badly. You start looking at old bookstores like they might have grimoires. You watch people a little closer, wondering if they're hiding something supernatural. Urban fantasy messes with your perception of reality until you start questioning everything. And then there's high fantasy. High fantasy doesn't creep up on you, it consumes you whole. It drags you from your world and throws you into another, where gods meddle, magic surges through bloodlines, and wars determine the fate of entire civilizations. You don't just read The Lord of the Rings, you live in Middle-earth. You don't casually pick up the Wheel of Time, you commit to its world. High fantasy doesn't just steal hours from your life, it takes years. It rewires your brain. It makes the real world feel too dull, too ordinary. After reading A Song of Ice and Fire, I felt betrayed by reality. Where was my kingdom to conquer? Where were my dragons? Where was my damn prophecy? By the way, if a book has ever destroyed you, if you've ever stayed up until sunrise because you couldn't bear to leave a world behind, then you, my friend, belong here. Ring that bell, like the video, and subscribe to Book Ginger. Let's ruin our lives with great stories together. These books destroy you in ways that no other genre can. You fall in love with characters who are doomed from the start. You put your trust in heroes who will fail you. You watch empires crumble, friendships break, lovers die. And yet, you keep coming back for more, like a masochist addicted to heartbreak. The plot twists rip through you, leaving you staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m., whispering, "No, that didn't just happen." And then, just when you think you've recovered, the author pulls the rug out from under you again. Take Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. I thought I was safe. I thought I understood the rules, but then betrayal struck from within. Alliances shattered, and my heart cracked open with every revelation. I remember gripping the book so hard that my knuckles turned white, wanting to scream but unable to make a sound because it was 2 a.m. And I wasn't ready to explain to my neighbors why I was crying over fictional characters. Then there's the Broken Empire series by Mark Lawrence. That one made me question my morality. How can a protagonist so brutal, so unforgiving, be so damn compelling? How can I root for someone who burns the world just to prove a point? And yet, I did. I followed him down the darkest roads, through blood-soaked battles, and into the abyss, knowing there was no redemption, knowing it would only end in fire. But I couldn't stop. I think about addiction a lot when it comes to books. How certain stories dig into you, make a home in your head, and refuse to leave. Urban fantasy is the thrill of the chase. The rush of knowing magic could be just around the corner. It's fast, electric, reckless. High fantasy is the slow burn, the kind of love that consumes you entirely until you forget where fiction ends and reality begins. Which is more addictive? That's the cruel trick fantasy plays. It gives you both, and asks you to choose when you know damn well you can't. Urban fantasy and high fantasy both destroy you, but in different ways. Urban fantasy makes you crave the impossible in your own world. It makes you wonder if you'll ever stumble into a hidden alleyway and find yourself in the middle of a war between supernatural factions. High fantasy, though, it takes you so far from reality that coming back feels like a punishment. And the worst part, you'll never fully recover from either. You'll keep chasing that feeling, that magic, that addiction. You'll keep hoping for the next book to ruin you even more than the last. And when it does, you'll whisper, just one more chapter, knowing full well that you're lying to yourself. And in the end, maybe that's the real magic of fantasy. It's not about urban or high, fast or slow, real or unreal. It's about the fact that somewhere, between the pages, we find a home we never want to leave. So tell me, what book destroyed you? Drop it in the comments and let's talk about it. And don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe to Book Ginger, and keep chasing the stories that refuse to let go.